Welcome to the Community Forum. My name is John Guglieltino and I'm your host. This evening we're going to be talking about a subject that's close to my heart. I graduated from Immaculate High School many moons ago, and I've got my old school in here with their new face, with the things that are going on new at this time. We have a new president, Kathleen Casey, and then we have Mike Bonetti. He's the director of admissions and marketing. And then we have a number of people going to be in the third chair, but starting off we have Megan Mitchell. So I want to welcome you to the show. Tell us a little bit about yourself before we get into some of the questions and concepts that we wanted to talk about.
Well, I came to Immaculate. I was an employee of the Diocese of Bridgeport. The superintendent, Dr. Margaret Dames, asked me to serve as the president at Immaculate. It's been a great 4 months. It's a phenomenal place. The students, the faculty, everybody that I've met there, it's been warm and welcoming, and now that I'm there I just would like to tell everybody else about what a great school it is. Before that I had 10 years in academia, both as an adjunct professor and also at other Catholic schools, both in the Diocese of Bridgeport as well as the Archdiocese in Atlanta, as an administrator and advisory board member. And before that I was with General Motors for 10 years in corporate planning and international strategic business planning.
Okay, very good. And Mike?
Well, I come back to Immaculate High School. I'm a graduate of Immaculate in '88, and so we're our 20-year reunion coming up, which is nice. Moving along with that. Coached ice hockey here for the last 7 years, and the last 2 years now I've been the director of admissions and marketing at the school. Prior to that I was at Plymouth State University and a couple of different prep schools coaching, so it was a nice transition for me to be able to come back to Immaculate and be involved with the student body and as an alum, as a coach, and now working in the school. So it's been a lot of fun.
Okay, and a little bit about yourself, Megan.
I'm a junior at Immaculate High School, and I play varsity lacrosse, and I participate in the school plays, and I'm also the communications coordinator at Immaculate, which is a new position we have as in student council. And so I was really excited. And
You president of the student council, or?
No, it's communication coordinator. It's like a new role that we had. Okay. And basically I'm in charge of the TVs downstairs. I've been working with like the website with Mr. Bonetti.
Okay.
And I headed the video for the NIASC.
Okay, very good. So. Welcome. Kathleen, the mission of the school, I mean, I know the mission of the school, but...
That's the thing, the mission of the school doesn't change. The mission of the school, even though we've had some changes in administration, the faces of the names may change, but we stick true to the mission. And at Immaculate, we foster the development of the whole student. It's the spiritual, the moral, the intellectual, the physical, and of course the social, because you want the students to have fun, and that's it. I think the people there, it's a really happy place. The students are happy, the teachers are happy. It's a very family-oriented atmosphere. The athletics, we have 32 CIAC teams. Spiritually and morally, there's a lot of opportunities for students to serve, and Kieran Reval, who you'll meet later on this evening, will tell you a little bit more about his personal experience. But I think that's important to understand, is that the mission is always going to be about nurturing the whole student. And we also have the diocese that supports us with that direction. So under the governance of the Diocese of Bridgeport, and they help us with our curriculum planning and program to make sure that we are always exceeding state standards. And the results show. Our students, 98% go on to further education, 95% get into their top first or second choice college, and they're going to great colleges, and they're getting very large scholarship awards at those schools, so the results are there.
Right, exactly. Mike, you're going to be talking basically, why do you believe in Immaculate, that concept?
Well, I think, I mean, for me, as growing up, I was over in New York, and it was an opportunity to come here to school and really be a part of a great athletic program and an academic program that's going to end up putting you where you want to be, after your high school career. Certainly, all the guys and the girls that I graduated with, it's especially now in the 20 years going by, you really get to reminisce and really see where all these people are at and how successful they really become, not only here in Danbury, but all over the area, you know, and beyond. So it's really nice to see so many of those people really getting excited to give back and get back involved again, and really know. And you probably don't realize it when you're, you know, Megan's age at this point, but it really is a special place to be. And I think if you see all the alum that come back to Immaculate as teachers, administrators, coaches, you know, it really is a place that touches you when you're growing up and learning how to be a man and a woman. And it's really a nice, you know, it was really nice for me to come back to that environment and be able to give some of that back.
Okay, now I want to clarify, because some people may have a misconception about Immaculate, and that is that it's even though there's a Christian emphasis, there's people from different denominations that.
Yes, it's you know, it's an opportunity to grow spiritually in any way that you feel that you know, in any way you want. And you know, the nicest thing is we have a lot of students that will say they're very in touch with God. They don't have to be ashamed of that. And there's other students that can worship and be, you know, spiritual in their way. You've given every opportunity in the world during the school day and during the school year to really practice in a lot of different ways.
Okay. Now, can you give us a little more on this science lab? I know that you have a relatively new science lab.
Right, we have this high-tech science lab. I think Kieran's going to want to talk about that. He's a science honor student, and he can elaborate about his personal experience there.
Okay.
But we have a computer lab, of course. We have 11 AP courses, so the curriculum is it's a very enriched curriculum and very demanding of the students, and those that want to then pursue the colleges really recognize that about Immaculate.
Okay. And I wanted to touch on the sports and sports teams. Still basketball and football, maybe not as prominent as the time that I was there. The more prominent, but give us a little background.
And Mike's the hockey coach too.
Yeah,
you might want to ask
the hockey coach. Okay, you've got to plug the stuff you're
and that's a lot of fun. But again, it's really nice to be. You know, even when you were there, when I was there, you know, the teams across the board. Not only were competitive, but they really support each other, and you still see that. You'll see the hockey team will be at all the basketball games. Football guys will be at girls' soccer games. You know, the girls' soccer teams had tremendous success over the last couple of years, and all our lacrosse teams are getting better every year. We certainly have, you know, as many student athletes that we have at the school. It's overwhelming, and they have an opportunity to compete every single day. And really, the Southwest Conference, which, you know, by far we're the smallest school in that conference, and to be competitive in that conference in all our sports is really a testament of the student athlete. But the one thing that really sets our student athletes aside is, you know, they're not just student athletes. They can play, they can be in the play, and they can do all these other things. So, you know, maybe we don't have that one sport child, but we certainly, like Kathleen was alluding to earlier, we have that whole student, which really at the end of the day is probably a lot more important.
That's true.
Did you mention that the girls' state won soccer? The girls' soccer won.
Yeah, this year the girls' state, and that's you know, the fourth time under Coach Mangachos, and he's an alum. Mike Beerworth is an alum, who's our new AD this year, and he's you know, so when you have an alum involved and somebody that you know, Tommy Neville, who's been with the baseball program for 16 years, when you have those type of people involved, Roger Hancock, the football coach, is an alum. They bring all that passion back to the school. So, and I think you'll start seeing, you know, especially the early success of our basketball team so far. That you'll start seeing a lot more of that in the next couple of years.
The coaches give back so much. That's what I've noticed. They're not just there to coach the sport. It's not just about winning, but it's really about connecting with these students and teaching them not just to be superior athletes, but to be superior role models on the field or on the court. Mike really instills in those students a great sense of pride, school pride, and how they are when they're conducting themselves.
And sports is important in this world. It gives you the edge. That sports background, you know, you've been stopped for, you know, after 5 yards. Well, it gives you that incentive to try to get another 5 yards or whatever.
It certainly gives you a lot of understanding about perseverance and you know, battling through adversity and being in situations where, you know, they don't always go your way, but you need a group of other individuals out there helping you achieve a lot of goals. And you know, the nice thing about as many athletes we have in the school, they're just as competitive in the classroom, which is a lot of fun to see. There's not anybody that's real happy with getting a poor grade in a class, and I think that certainly, I'm sure the teachers appreciate that.
Right.
And that even showed our coaches. They hosted a Martin Luther King basketball clinic for 4th, 5th, and 6th graders. So they opened it up to the community. It wasn't just about, you know, having practice and the next game that they're going to compete in, but the girls team came and the boys team came. They volunteered their time, and it was really a great event. A lot of people had so much fun.
Okay, Megan, I'm coming to you now. Why did you choose Immaculate? I understand, well, I'm not sure about that. Go ahead.
Well, I chose Immaculate not only, you know, because, well, both my parents were actually alum here, and, you know, they said, oh, you know, we'll try it. I said, okay. I went into it. The moment I stepped in the door, I just felt it. I knew that I loved it. So I went through with the admissions process, and I came freshman year, and, you know, there's one of the students in the school had said to me, you know, let me just tell you, Megan, I'm on the lacrosse team, and I also play the play. And that was one of those things that really took me in, because I love to be well-rounded, and I love to do everything I want to. So I decided I knew at my public high school I wouldn't be able to be varsity lacrosse, like one of the leads in the school play, and at Immaculate did it with ease, and that's what I love.
The well-roundedness, that's good. You can do sports and do the school play.
Yeah.
That's good. Let's see, Kathleen, could you tell us a little bit about the number of people that, you know, maybe in recent years that have gone on to places like, I don't know if you have any statistics off the top of your head.
We have the Hall of Fame, a lot of the people that have gone on for sports that come back and we honor. Mike Beerworth, cousin that's the coach at Northwestern, the softball coach at Northwestern, who was a lot of the papers, a lot of people know about Kate and the success that she's had building that program. But it's not just about the sports, it's about where the alumni have gone. Dave Bennett, who's going to be on later tonight, is going to tell you about where his sons have gone and what they've gone on, how they've gone on to succeed in many different corporate jobs, as well as giving back to the Danbury community.
Yeah, you alluded a couple of times. We're going to be changing the third chair here, so the viewers know what's going on, and a couple other people are going to be on.
I think one of the keys when you're talking about, you know, where our students go, certainly is, you know, in the great statistics right now, is looking at where not only, you know, the high level colleges they go to, but where they're staying. And I think, you know, you'll overwhelmingly see that our students are getting placed in the college that they need to be in. I mean, you know, and I think our guidance department does a great job of doing that. You know, putting a student in a situation where you're not seeing them back at Thanksgiving and they're not happy in the situation they're in. You know, they really pick the colleges that are right for them, whether it's size, whether it's financial, whether it's social, whether it has to do with athletics or performing arts. It really does make a nice, you know, the guidance department is very involved in that. I think that's you know, certainly one of the hallmarks of an Immaculate student, is that you'll see that they went to the college not only of their choice, but the right choice.
And the guidance is so personalized. It's very one-on-one. They work with the students from their freshman year and understanding whether it be a Myers-Briggs test to see where their aptitude might be before a student might recognize where their own interests lie. And then the guidance counselors really know the students. By freshman year, December, they know who these students are. They know them by name. They know their strengths and their weaknesses and how they can help them. So the time it comes to junior or senior year applying to college, that's why we're so successful.
That's a thing that gets lost in a big school with a large population. You're sort of like just a number there, and people know who you are, and they know all your traits. They know when you're in a good mood, bad mood, and you know there is an advantage of being a smaller school.
Well, in the admissions side of it, not a lot of 8th graders like hearing that in the hallway when you're with their parents, that we know exactly what you're doing, who you're hanging out with, when you're hanging out there, and really how we can respond to that. And that's good and bad. You know, we can make sure we got them in the good parts, and we can really show off those students. And we also, it's a great opportunity where this Parents in Partnership program that we have, where we want the parents to know that the school, you know, and our morals and our values and what we stand for in school is what we hope you stand for at home, and we're working together with that from, you know, 6 a.m. until you know, Facebook goes off at night. You know, so we want to make sure that they know that we're a partner in that whole thing. I don't know if you can get that out of a lot of bigger public schools.
Right. Now, Kieran has joined us, and could you give us a little background on, like I don't know, I've neglected before you came on, as to what year are you in?
I'm a senior.
You're a senior, okay. And how does Immaculate help you, shape you for the college experience that's coming up next year?
Yeah, well, over my last 4 years, two things that I've really noticed that Immaculate has helped me with is, number one, my writing skills, which from what I've been told is very important in college. You know, being able to write persuasively, effectively, and, you know, quickly as well. And so that's one thing that I've noticed that I've developed through the English department. And, you know, the teachers definitely helped me with that, where I come in freshman year and I couldn't write an essay in 40 minutes. And, you know, by junior year, I can, you know, bang those out in class. And that's really important in college. And the other thing is being able to think critically. I've kind of learned those sort of skills in the different classes, you know, whether it be in history, government, you know, science, things like that. Developing those critical thinking skills, questioning, you know, and discovering, looking for truth, kind of as our motto says, to seek truth is to seek God. And I think that quest for knowledge is something that Immaculate has inspired me with, and I'll hopefully continue on in college.
Very good. And you were going to talk a little bit more about the labs. You're doing something with those. I guess you're a senior scientific scholar?
Yeah, actually Immaculate is partnered with Beringer Ingelheim here in Danbury in a program called Scientific Scholars. And what that does is Beringer comes in your freshman year, and they go into the freshman honors bio class. And 2 students are selected out of that through a process to become scientific scholars. And that entails a scholarship, which is up to about $3,000 towards college over your 4 years at Immaculate, and also an internship between your junior and senior year over at Beringer. So I actually just had that experience this past summer, which was great. 6 weeks in the R&D facilities, you know, getting that hands-on kind of experience in the corporate environment and also in the industrial scientific environment. And also Beringer came in a few years back before I was at Immaculate, and they donated a computer science lab. And I've used that in my AP chemistry course and my AP physics course, where you can run experiments and they hook probes and things like that right into the computer. You can chart out all your data, spreadsheets, things like that, run the calculations. And I gained a greater appreciation for that sort of technology this past summer at Beringer, because I realized in industry everything's hooked up to a computer. You know, everything is printed out, put on some sort of, you know, disk or something like that. And so to have that technology right at school gets the kids, I think, you know, ready for the real world application.
I tell you, computers, I wish I had them back then. I used to go out and get 15 books and put index cards all over and then write a paper that way.
We have another part of our science program is with our freshmen this year, and it's a partnership we have at Fairfield University along with General Electric. And the company is partnering with Immaculate. 4 of our freshman students go down to Fairfield and participate in the science program, which has really been a great experience for them.
Okay. I neglected to the website. You know the website, right? You're actually the designer,
Sure.
aren't you?
Right. Well, yeah, I put it together, and a lot of work, but certainly a lot of people helping out. But it's immaculateHS.org, and we have a lot of neat things on there, including you know, Megan's done a lot of interviews with a lot of faculty and our, you know, captains and other members of the school. Kate Drohan's videos up there, which, you know, in her Hall of Fame acceptance speech. And there's obviously a lot of opportunity to find out about our entrance exams and our ongoing admissions process, all that kind of stuff. So it's a real good way to find out, you know, between curriculum mapping and who teachers are and how the athletic teams are doing and how you can buy tickets to the next school play. You know, all that stuff's really all-inclusive on there.
Now, we're shooting this in February. Could you maybe give us like a little rundown what happens in the second half of the school year? I mean, like month to month, like you take your final exams in late May?
We just did our midterms. Kieran probably just did his midterms. I think he's thinking that he's very glad to be in the second semester of his senior year. He's gotten 2 college acceptances, or maybe more than 2. 3 so far. Which ones were those again?
I've got Villanova, Notre Dame, and Boston College have accepted me.
Wow.
I'm waiting for a few more to come in the spring.
Don't be shy. Tell us who they are.
I'm waiting for Georgetown, Yale, Harvard, Princeton, and Cornell.
Wow.
So we'll see in around April 1st those come in. But I couldn't have done it alone. Big help with the college admissions process was the guidance department and the guidance staff. They're really focused on, from the minute you step in as a freshman to getting you to college. It's a college prep school, and that's the end result they're looking for. And they've just been so helpful through college planning nights, financial aid nights, where they give you this information, tell you how the process works, sitting down with you on one-on-one interviews with your guidance counselor to figure out how you're going to put your best foot forward to apply to college. So it's definitely been a big help.
So the juniors just had their junior college planning night last night, and so they meet with the guidance counselors, and they basically map out the curriculum for their upcoming senior year, so that they're going to be in the same position, hopefully, that Kieran is too, and they'll have the same success.
Okay. Let's get back to, because I was going to try to cover that, and then we're also going to have Dave Bennett join us in a couple of minutes. So if you can, in the meanwhile, can we talk about what goes on between now and the second half of the year, or just cover a typical school year? When do people? Well, maybe we should. Between the two of you, let's cover the admission process. When somebody should apply, and then go through the school year to the conclusion, which is usually June for most of the school. I guess the seniors graduate like around the 7th, or has that changed?
Well, we're right now in the heart of the admission season. We just had our first registration day on January 24th. We have a second registration day on March 14th. We've had a huge number of students already taking the entrance test, and we have a rolling admissions process. So we have those students that have been accepted that are now making the deposit, so that we know what the incoming freshman class will look like. But even tomorrow night we have another entrance exam. So like I said, we're right in the middle of that process. And once we know who those students are going to be, we'll then do an orientation in the spring for that incoming freshman class, so that they understand what are the classes. Even before they get there, though, on the registration day, they begin that first personalized one-on-one with the guidance counselor, and they sit down and say, what track are you going to be on? Is it the college prep class? Is it the honors class that you're going to be taking? Which really fits your interests and your needs? Yeah,
because they can tell you, what their grades have been lower.
Exactly. They sit down, they meet with the student, they meet with the parent, we look at their test scores, we look at their norms, like the Iowa test score, and also at the Explore test, their entrance exam. We look at their academic report card from the schools that they come in from, and also the recommendations. So it's all part of the admissions process.
So when we actually accept people, is that is that like June, or when is he? I missed that.
Oh.
Yeah, we had our first run of acceptance in December.
Okay.
And then we have rolling admissions at Immaculate. So at this point, we'll accept. We have another entrance exam on March 14th. So after the entrance exam is taken, it's usually about a 5 to 6 week window between the time they take the test and transcripts coming in and acceptance. So most of the people in any especially at Immaculate High School, will really start the process. Really 6th and 7th graders are starting their process now for next year, because an 8th grade, or similar to a junior, or
pretty much
in college or high school, you want to know where you're going to go to high school.
You're pretty much done, is what you're saying.
By 8th grade, yeah. 8th grade around, but again, it's one of those things where certainly right now at Immaculate, it's a great time because of a lot of the new changes we have and the new opportunities we have with academics and the administration, and having, like I said, all these alum involved, and really this gala event that's coming up, which we have not only alum but corporate sponsors come in and really give back to the school and show how vibrant our little community is inside of this huge community. And I think
you mentioned it. Let's quickly cover that. The gala.
March 21st is
March
the gala,
21st, okay.
And that's going to be at the Amber Room, and it's really
we can't get in the tickets because of Comcast rules, but
no, but I was just going to say we really want the alumni to come back,
right?
And that's the class. Mike's class is going to have a reunion. I think they have maybe 5 tables already just for their class to come back, and it's really a community building.
Okay.
Well, and it's a similar thing where, in any kind of a gala type event, you have, with the class of 89, the class of 90, the class of 91. We want tables of 10 of all those classes. It really gets to show off how great our alum have done, as, I'm sure Dave's going to mention in a little bit, is that, you want those people back and being in front of our own student body as well.
Well, the clock is running, so we've got about 3.5 minutes.
So Dave will mention the website again now.
Okay, the website. Okay, caring teachers, you're going to give us what the advisory board does, and where kids are going, and
It's the advisory board of Immaculate's made up of really a great group of local people who help the school plan for its future, also bring in the community. Companies like Boehringer and GE have been great with the company. And it's, you know, it's a great school. You know, I graduated in '70, my brother graduated in '68, my wife graduated in '74, my oldest boy graduated in 2004, the next one graduated in 2006. It's a great school, and what I think that you get a quantitative difference if you go to Immaculate when a student. What Immaculate teaches, public school does not teach. Immaculate teaches personal leadership. You have to be able to lead yourself before you can lead anyone else. And I think when you come out of Immaculate High School, the student understands personal leadership, personal qualities that flourish outside the community in college. We've got great college placement, and you know, it's just a fabulous school.
okay, and where the kids are. Where do they end up? We had a sampling of some of the places.
We've had students at Georgetown, Air Force. Right now, the academy. Right now, Immaculate has 3 young men at the Naval Academy in Annapolis. We've got
several West Pointers in the past.
Several West Pointers in the past. Although their football team's not doing great, Navy's doing pretty well. But we got great placement out of school.
University of Michigan, Cornell. We had a girl, Maura Kenny, our cross-country runner, just signed with Boston College on letter of intent day.
Ryan McDonough from New Fairfield graduates Naval Academy this year. Just got explosive ordnance disposal for the Navy. We have 2 sons there. One, my oldest, just graduated in '04. Got the Marine Corps ground. Youngest will go Marine Corps as well. So we have 3 at the Naval Academy, Air Force. We've had West Pointers, Michigan. Kieran's knocking down all the good schools now, and if you really want to, I think it's very hard to get a parent who has an 8th grader to focus 4 years out to look at college. But you know, over the years, I've recruited a lot of students for Immaculate, and I always offer the same Dave Bennett money-back guarantee. If you're unsure about Immaculate, send your daughter or son there for 90 days. At the end of 90 days, make 3 tuition payments. If you don't like it, call me. I'll write you a check. Been doing that for 20 years. I haven't written 1 check yet.
All right.
So it's a great investment.
The website one more time, and
it's immaculatehs.org. It's real easy, and again, it's a really nice place just to visit too, just to kind of see all the neat stuff that's going on.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Well, I think we're just about it, unless you got something that's 10 seconds.
I would just extend that same offer that Mike did. Come to Immaculate. Come walk through the doors and come through the hallways, see how the students are engaged, meet some of the teachers, and you're going to see what a great place it is.
Okay.
And we thank you very much, John, for the opportunity to be here this evening.
Okay.
Yeah,
thank you for coming on the show. And I want to thank the viewers for tuning in to the Community Forum. Tune in next week, same time, same station. I'm sure we'll have another interesting program. Good night for now, and we'll see you then.